So God is raising leaders, but He is raising them from the place of the encounter. He's raising them from the place of the altar. He's raising leaders from that place. He's raising leaders. In Hebrews chapter number 5 verse 4, the NLT translation, the Bible says, and no man can become a high priest simply because he wants such an honor. He must be called by God for this work, just as Aaron was called. You don't come into this office because you want to. You must encounter the Lord of the harvest. You see, when people who are called function in their office, you think it's easy. It's easy because they are functioning in the place of grace. They are manifesting from the place of grace. There is no spiritual call that is easy. Every genuine call will take something major from you, because it's a place of absolute worship to God. What is worship? Worship is you dropping your all and taking the all of God. That was what the devil said in the book of Matthew chapter 4 to Jesus. He said, just bow down and worship me. I will give you all. I will give you all the kingdom, the glamour, the splendor of this world I will give to you. All of it I will give. All I need from you is to bow down and worship me. So in the place of worship, you give all and you take his all. So you don't become a high priest simply because you want to. No. You don't become a high priest simply because you want to. You become a believer by accepting Jesus. In John chapter 1, he says, as many as receive him, to them he gave the power to become the sons of God. But to function in this office, he will be the one to call you. He will be the one to pull you through. But do you know that God does not call people because they are either rich or poor? No. God don't do that. He calls those who fear him. He calls those who honor him. He was chosen because God chose him, and because he feared the Lord, and he will obey God. That was why God picked him. God picked him because God knew that he will obey him. He knew that he will keep to what he says. Every time you see a called man, is a man that has been pulled out by trust. And may you not come to that point where you begin to violate and abuse the trust the Lord of the harvest has put on you. You begin to mess up with the gold of God, with the gifts of God, with the glory of God. Come on now, that is trust being destroyed. Whenever I see a man operating in any office in the scripture, even in our days, there's this honor, reverence I have for such people, because that is the highest level of trust. They are operating based on the trust that God had on them. Operating from that dimension is the greatest risk any man can ever take.